Subscribe for Reddit's controversial opinions. People who suffer from pedophilia should be encouraged to seek help before they hurt a child, not shunned like they're the scum of the earth for having a mental psychosis. So, it's established fact that people who suffer from pedophilia underwent some form of childhood abuse or trauma. This trauma was not, in any way, their fault. However, I feel like people who suffer from pedophilia are branded as monsters immediately, regardless of whether or not they've actually acted or attempted to act on their urges. How would you feel if you went through pure hell only to know that you can't seek help without being outed as an abomination? All I'm saying is that maybe we should encourage people to get help. That's all, that's my opinion. Edit. Established fact was a poor choice of words on my part. Edit. Psychosis was the wrong word. I agree, this is a legit unpopular opinion with good points that isn't just bigoted bullshit. People can get into pedophilia by porn use escalation as well. It's not only because of trauma. If you haven't acted on anything, no one can brand you a monster. No one has any idea what goes on in someone else's head. Anyone who wants to can seek help without being outed as an abomination. You have a right to privacy within the confines of a relationship with a mental health practitioner. If you haven't done anything, you don't have anything to worry about because there's nothing for them to report to the authorities, and by law, they can't tell anyone. You'd probably be shocked to find out what goes on in a lot of people's heads. A lot of people, I'm assuming, have all sorts of sick, sadistic, warped fetishes. No one is forced to act on them. Okay, you can't just keep commenting troll comment. Please ignore every time someone disagrees with you in an upsetting way. Here's the thing, when I first read your post I thought fuck that, I want them removed from society even if they haven't offended. Why? Because I was a victim of pedophilia and even the mention of it is to me, disgusting and triggering. But the more I read people's comments, I understand your POV. I disagree, but I understand it. But you can't just be pissed off at people who lash out at pedos, because many of them will have a legit reason to. Read, trauma. Also, saying pedophilia is caused by childhood abuse is plain wrong. There are a lot of pedophiles who were never abused in their childhood but who ended up that way anyway because of genetic predisposition or other factors. Finally, an actually unpopular opinion. So many posts on this sub are just things everyone is already thinking. I got 64 downvotes for saying this once, evidently a very unpopular opinion. So, it's established fact that people who suffer from pedophilia underwent some form of childhood abuse or trauma. Source. A fake, the increasingly shared/accepted theory is that, like most other sexual orientations/preferences, it's a fluid scale, ranging from 100% not interested in / /___________________ to exclusively attracted to / /__________________________________________________, not a choice, not, necessarily, the byproduct of some trauma or abuse. Anyway, yes, people experiencing said unsettling and disturbing attraction should be encouraged to seek help, benefiting from the same protection every other therapy patient enjoys. If there's no illegal activity on their part, no therapist should be legally required to alert the authorities. Like saying sometimes I think about killing my family doesn't automatically mean you're going to do so and cops won't be questioning you or locking you up for imagined murder. Simply stating one's attraction to a minor/child, I can't stress enough how we'd learn to set pedophilia and hebephilia apart, shouldn't get them locked up preemptively. Then again, any therapist worth their salt will know when it's just a fantasy, likely fueled by some other underlying issue about sexuality and power dynamics, and when it's indeed a red flag that could lead to an illegal and despicable act. So yeah, help with no fear for immediate repercussions should be a given, but then with stricter penalties for the actual molesters. No more "we're sign let out unfairly" excuses, and hopefully fewer victims. Psychosis is just a fancy medical term for hallucination, delusions, etc. Not being sexually attracted to children. That's based in reality and not a delusion. It may be unacceptable, of course, I'm just explaining to you that you're using the word wrong. As long as society isn't forced tolerated, that's fine. Except that clinically speaking it's not a psychosis. I do agree that anyone experiencing inappropriate sexual urges should be able to seek help without being stigmatized for it, before they break any laws or damage anyone else. I do not agree that it's established fact. What is becoming established is that an individual's sexual preferences are not necessarily chosen by that individual.